Ciao a tutti, and welcome back to Babeliacast, the podcast where we dive into the world of the Italian language and culture. I'm Kai, your host for today. I hope you're ready to embark on another language learning journey with me. Today we're going to explore a topic that's near and dear to many of our hearts: pets and animals. Now, it's not just about the fluffy companions we might have at home, it's also about how these creatures shape our daily lives and even our language learning experiences. Now, I've got a personal story that ties into this topic quite nicely. When I first moved to Italy, I didn't just bring my suitcase and language books. I brought along my trusty old dog, Max. Max was a bit of a grumpy old man by then, but he was my best buddy, and I couldn't imagine leaving him behind. As you might guess, having a pet in a foreign country can be both a challenge and a delight. Navigating the local vet services, understanding pet-related Italian vocabulary, and even just meeting other pet owners in the park. All of this turned out to be quite the language learning adventure. At first, I was a bit nervous. Trying to explain Max's medical history in Italian was like trying to complete a level in a video game without a walkthrough. I remember our first visit to the vet. I had rehearsed my lines like I was about to perform in an epic quest, but of course things didn't quite go to plan. The vet asked me questions I hadn't prepared for, and I felt like my language skills were about to run out of health points. However, the vet was patient, and through gestures and some awkward laughter, we managed to communicate. It taught me a valuable lesson about language learning. Sometimes you have to embrace the chaos and just roll with it. Over time, Max became quite the local celebrity in our neighborhood. Italians love their pets, and having a dog was an instant icebreaker. I remember one day, I was walking Max in the park when this elderly lady approached us. Her dog, a little terrier, immediately hit it off with Max. She started talking to me in rapid Italian, and at first I felt like I was listening to a podcast on double speed. But as we chatted more, I realized she was sharing stories about her childhood pets and how animals had always been a part of her life. It was one of those conversations where I learned more about Italian culture than I ever could from a textbook. You see, pets have this magical ability to bring people together. Whether you're in a new country or just meeting someone for the first time, talking about animals seems to break down barriers. It's like pressing the start button in a game. Suddenly, you're in, and the adventure begins. And that was definitely the case for me and Max. Another part of this experience was learning the specific vocabularies related to animals. In English, I could talk about Max's leash or treats without thinking, but in Italian, it was a different story. I had to learn new words like guinzaglio for leash and biscotti for treats, which was both challenging and fun. It's like unlocking new weapons or tools in a game. You need them to progress further. As my vocabulary grew, so did my confidence in talking to other pet owners and understanding their stories. Max also played an unexpected role in helping me understand some cultural nuances. For example, Italians are quite expressive, not just in their gestures but also in how they talk to their pets. I observed how people would engage with their dogs as if they were having a conversation with another person. This was quite different from my experiences back home, where the interactions were more straightforward. It reminded me a bit of how NPCs in games have their own little world and dialogues, adding depth to the experience. As I became more comfortable with my surroundings and language skills, I started volunteering at a local animal shelter. It was a fantastic opportunity to meet other animal lovers and improve my Italian. The shelter was always bustling with activity, from feeding the animals to organizing adoption events. Working there not only helped me improve my language skills but also made me feel more connected to the community. It's like being part of a guild in an online game, where everyone has a role, and together you achieve something meaningful. During my time at the shelter, I encountered various animals, each with their own story. There was a cat named Luna, who had been found in the streets and needed a home. Her story touched many hearts, and when she was finally adopted, it felt like completing a level in a game with a happy ending. These moments made me realize how pets and animals are not just part of our lives, they're woven into the fabric of our communities and cultures. One thing I noticed is how Italians often attribute human characteristics to their pets, something that resonated with me. In gaming, we often see characters with unique personalities and quirks, which makes the game world feel alive. Similarly, watching how Italians interacted with their pets, talking to them as if they understood, helped me see the cultural richness of these interactions. It was a window into the Italian way of life, a way that values companionship, warmth, and expressive communication. Reflecting on my journey with Max, I realized how much I learned not just about the Italian language but also about the culture and people. Pets, in their unique way, act as ambassadors of connection. They open doors to conversations, friendships, and understanding that might otherwise remain closed. It's a bit like discovering a secret level in a game that leads to new experiences and insights. As Max grew older, he became even more beloved in the community. The neighbors would greet him by name, and sometimes they'd stop to chat, sharing stories and laughter. It was through these interactions that I truly felt integrated into the Italian way of life. When Max eventually passed away, it was a difficult time, but the community's support was heartwarming. People shared fond memories of him, and it felt like we were all part of a shared narrative, a collective journey, much like in a co-op game where each player contributes to the story. So if you're learning a new language or moving to a new place, consider the pets and animals around you. They might just be the key to opening up new adventures and connections. Embrace the chaos, enjoy the journey, and let the experiences unfold naturally, just like in a good game. That's it for today's episode of Babeliacast. I hope you enjoyed this journey through the world of pets and animals and how they can enrich our language learning experiences. Until next time, take care and keep exploring new words and worlds. Arrivederci.